What's up, people of the present and the future? I'm Silver the Hedgehog, and this is part 2 of the weather phenomenon. Now, we're not wasting any time, so let's get going. 32. We're going to 21, team.
Fall streak hole cloud.
Whoa!
A fall streak hole cloud, or hole punch hole cloud, is a large circular or elliptical gap that can appear in a cirrocumulus or altocumulus cloud. Such holes are formed when the water temperature in the clouds is below freezing.
Of course.
But the water has not frozen yet due to the lack of ice nucleation particles.
Wow!
When ice crystals do form, it will set off a domino effect due to the Bergson process.
What's that?
Causing the water droplets around the crystals to evaporate. This leaves a large, often circular hole in the cloud. Fall streak hole clouds have been spotted around the world recently.
Where?
The main sightings have been in Romania, Moscow, Malta, and Florida. Other theories as to the creation or forces that form fall streak hole clouds range from them being UFO clouds, crop circle clouds, or also the product of government technology such as HARP.
So HARP is the government technology as well. I thought it was just a musical instrument. Also, what is the Bergson process? Put that in the link of the description.
Sun halos.
Comment down below what it is.
Like rainbows, sun halos are formed around the sun due to the moisture being refracted from the sun's rays in the upper atmosphere. Halos around the sun happen when high, thin, cirrus clouds are drifting high above.
I like that music in the background.
Tiny ice crystals in the Earth's atmosphere cause the halos. They do this by refracting and reflecting the light.
That music.
Sometimes, two or more areas of the circle or arc surrounding the sun will be brighter, forming what are called sundogs. Halos can also form around the moon, and occasionally around the brighter stars and planets like Venus.
That music, though.
The colors of a halo can differ, like a rainbow, depending on how it is dispersed after reflection and refraction.
Well, the more you know. But that music, though, in the background, though, is so awesome, though. Oh, I'm going to stop talking like that. So, I said too much, though. So, 30, we're going to...
Double rainbow.
I think 21.
A double rainbow is a very rare weather phenomenon caused by double reflection of sunlight inside the raindrops and appears at an angle of 50 degrees to 53 degrees.
Whoa!
The second and more faint rainbow is called the secondary rainbow. It occurs when refracted light does not escape the raindrop after being reflected the first time.
Cool.
Instead, the reflected light reflects off the raindrop surface a second time as well, producing a secondary rainbow with its colors reversed compared to the primary rainbow.
I'm too close.
Unfortunately, fewer light rays are available to undergo the additional refraction process.
Right.
So the resulting secondary rainbows appear less vivid and faint.
Yeah, they're faint.
Triple and even quadruple rainbows are possible, depending on how many times refracted light is reflected within a rainbow.
Oh my god, that scared me. So what, do I have brontophobia right now, fear of lightning? I don't care, I'm gonna watch on. 29.
Light pillars. Light pillars, or light poles, is an atmospheric phenomenon and can be seen at night over the large cities with different colored lights.
Awesome!
They can only be seen during very cold weather at minus 20 degrees Celsius or lower.
Wow.
The pillars are not physically over the lights or anywhere else in space for that matter.
They have to be very cold.
Like all halos, they are purely collected light beams from all the millions of crystals which just happen to be reflecting light towards your eyes or the camera.
Right.
Artificial light pillars can be much taller than their natural counterparts because rays from the lights are not parallel and plate crystals with small tilts can still reflect them downward.
Wow.
The higher the crystals in the atmosphere, the taller the pillar.
Cool.
When the crystals are very high or the light sources are close, the pillars seem to radiate from overhead.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, about that cabin back there, the light pillars. I want to live in there so I can see the light pillars. That would be awesome. 28.
Mammatus clouds.
Oh!
These odd-shaped clouds are often associated with a storm front, especially one involving a thunderstorm. It's not completely understood how they
They look
form.
like animals.
True to their ominous appearance,
Of course.
Mamata's clouds are often harbingers of a coming storm or other extreme weather system.
Like a dog.
Typically composed primarily of ice, they can extend for hundreds of miles in each direction, and individual formations can remain visibly static for 10 to 15 minutes at a time.
Spheres.
While they may appear foreboding,
Yeah.
they are merely the messengers before or even after severe weather.
Dude, spheres. I should have known to be spears. 27. We're getting near it, team.
Novia-Zimla effect.
Red?
The Novia-Zimla effect is a polar mirage caused by high refraction of sunlight between atmospheric thermoclines.
Huh?
The Novia-Zimla effect will give the impression that the sun is rising earlier than it should, and depending on the meteorological situation, the effect will present the sun as a line or a square made up of flattened hourglass shapes.
Wow.
Light refracted through atmospheric temperature inversions can cause images of objects below the horizon to rise up into view.
Yay!
This phenomenon is called looming. The Novia-Zimla effect occurs in Arctic regions, where tracts of cold air remain uniquely stable over hundreds of kilometers, creating a special instance of a meteorological temperature inversion. The distortion, powerful enough to bend light through 4 or 5 degrees, can make celestial bodies like the sun or moon appear wholly above the horizon when they are physically below it.
That's something that you need to know. So that thing is supposed to be, like a mirage, right? A mirage.
Mirages.
And speaking of that, here it is.
Mirages occur when light is refracted to produce an image of an object or the sky where it simply isn't.
Cool.
A mirage is usually most noticeable on hot and sunny days.
Wow.
The most common kind is one where it appears that there's a pool.
Yeah.
However, when you get close to it, you realize that just simply is not there. Warm air is less dense than cool air, and the variation between the hot air at the surface of the road and the denser cool air above it creates a gradient in the refractive index of the air. Objects that attempt to enter the mirage will appear to melt or disappear completely. However, in reality, they don't.
Of course not.
They're unaffected.
And they're unaffected. That will be the reason. My friends, 25. I hope we can get to 21 in time. Because this thing just...
Roll cloud.
There!
Roll clouds can be hundreds of kilometers long, and just as the name suggests, they roll.
Don't mix them up with the more glorious.
This is because of cold air rushing out of a downdraft from a storm front, lifting warm air, which cools, and sometimes forms this type of cloud.
Oh my gosh!
Roll clouds have been seen over coastal areas, such as California, the English Channel, Shetland Islands, eastern Russia, and other maritime regions of Australia.
Yeah, right.
Now, depending on the conditions, a roll cloud can last for several hours and extend for several hundred miles.
Whoa!
The roll cloud will appear to be slowly rolling about its horizontal axis.
Of course.
However, it does not produce tornadoes, as intimidating as it looks.
So it said don't mix the roll clouds up with the morning glories like it said before. And this thing also said that they roll. Of course, they're called roll clouds. What else would they do? 24?
Sun pillars.
What?
Sun pillars are a halo phenomenon of a vertical shaft of light extending upward or downward from the sun.
Wow.
Typically seen during the sunrise or sunset, sun pillars form when sunlight reflects off the surfaces of ice crystals associated with thin, high-level clouds.
Yeah.
The hexagonal plate-like ice crystals fall with a horizontal orientation, gently rocking from side to side as they fall.
Something.
When the sun is low on the horizon, an area of brightness appears in the sky above or below the sun, as sunlight is reflected off the surfaces of these tipped ice crystals.
Right.
Sun pillars are seen best within a few minutes of sunrise or sunset. Initially, they have about the same color and width as the sun.
Yeah.
But sun pillars will gradually change their color from orange-white to red-orange.
Of course. Fire. Suns are orange and red, ain't they? 23. We got 2 more to go, team. Let's hope we can make it. 23.
Noctilucent clouds.
What?
Noctilucent clouds are atmospherically high clouds that refract light at dusk when the sun is already set,
Oh my God.
illuminating the sky with no seeming light source.
Awesomeness.
The clouds are seasonal.
Yeah.
So they are only seen from mid-May to mid-August.
Something.
Noctilucent clouds become visible about the same time as the brightest stars are usually bluish or silvery.
Cool.
But sometimes orange or reddish.
Wow.
They most closely resemble thin, streaky cirrus clouds and are thought to be made of ice crystals.
Shoot.
Noctilucent clouds are the highest cloud in Earth's atmosphere.
I said shoot.
Forming above 200,000 feet. They are typically faint, but occasionally become visible during twilight when the sun is below the horizon and the clouds become illuminated.
Yeah.
No one's quite sure why they formed, and indeed they weren't seen before 1885.
Wow.
And so there is some suggestion that they are linked with man-made climate change.
I wouldn't believe that. Would you, team? Put in the comments if you believe that noctilucent clouds occur from man-made climate change or not.
Red moon and blue moon.
Shoot!
Due to different atmospheric issues, the moon will occasionally appear tinged with a color.
Yeah.
This can be caused by excess smoke or dust, or even eclipses.
Cool.
This could all play into the effect that makes the moon appear to change color.
Change!
Red moons, which can usually be caused by dust particles or lunar eclipses, are much more common than blue moons.
Yeah.
Blue-colored moons do occur, but very rarely.
Rare!
When dust or smoke particles in the air are of a very specific size.
Seriously?
Such particles help create a blue-colored moon by scattering blue light.
Right.
The phrase, once in a blue moon, is colloquially used to suggest that something is very rare. The more you know.
Of course, the more you know. That'd be the old saying. The more you know, then it's a lot to show. All right, team. So that was the end of part 2. But yeah, that red moon and blue moon is right. The more you know, the more you show. Well, it didn't say the more you show. I added that part. The more you know, the more you can show. Remember that, guys. And I'll see you in part 3, where we go even further. Where in part 3, we go all the way to, I think either 3 or 9. I'll have to think. But I'll have it before part 3 begins. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell this at the very beginning of this video. Think of the weather phenomenon as before I joined Sonic and them for the natural, and after they reacted to the weather. So after they reacted to the weather, I did it, and this was before I joined them as special guest and a natural phenomenon. So yeah, even though I've already done it with them, just think of this as me traveling through time and doing this before that. But anyways, I'll see you in part 3. See you later, people of the present and the future.